just make you cry. And I don't wanna fight with you. I would rather lie to you. I promise now's not the right time. And I don't wanna fight with you. I would rather lie to you. Look away so you won't see, 'cause the pain is in my eyes. Feels like I could break at any moment and shatter your insides. If you feel my mind, call me all night long. Try to give you hints and a hard to see. Right on the line, no. Losing it on you's the last thing I know. If I'm honest, I'll just make you cry. And I don't wanna fight with you. I would rather lie to you. I promise now's not the right time. And I don't wanna fight with you. I would rather lie to you. I would rather lie. I would rather lie. I don't wanna fight. I would rather lie to you. If I'm honest, I'll just make you cry. And I don't wanna fight with you. I would rather lie to you. Call me all night long. Try to give you hints and a hard to see. Right on the line, no. Losing it on you's the last thing I know. If I'm honest, I'll just make you cry. And I don't wanna fight with you. I would rather lie to you. I promise now's not the right time. And I don't wanna fight with you. I would rather lie to you. I would rather lie. I would rather lie. I don't wanna fight. I would rather lie to you. I'm honest, I'll just make you cry. And I don't wanna fight with you. I would rather lie.
I just can't let you go. Lord knows that I've tried to. You said I was the only one. No one likes being lied to. You made this mess and left me with the pieces. Now I wanna burn all the bridges between us. I can't focus, I can't forget. I've been thinking too much lately. I just need to clear my head. I just need to clear my
For the lost and found, but you don't care, you're unaware. Keep moving like the scars aren't even there. It's in the air like a blazing flare. Just stare 'cause the flames will burn us. I thought you were the one for me. That's why I gave you everything. Held you close by the stormy seas. Oh, you meant the world to me. Your head when you cried for me. Hold your hand while the pain was over. Keep you warm by the roaring sea. You meant the world to me. Oh, you meant the world to me. Like shadows in the atmosphere, charting the stratosphere. Yeah. I prayed for you and kept you near, in hopes you'd chase away my fears. I'm on my own, you made it so, and now I'm chasing nightmares. I used to run with you through the great big leaves, laugh at you when you laugh at me. Hope for us because I believe the home was just you and me. I thought you were the one for me. That's why I gave you everything. Held you close by the stormy seas. Oh, you meant the world to me. No point in blaming you, you did not know. Oh, I thought you were the one for me. That's why I gave you everything. Held you close by the stormy seas. Oh, you meant the world to me. seas. Oh, you meant the world to me.
Never gonna give you up. I'm never gonna let you go. Never gonna say goodbye, no. Never gonna give you up. I'm never gonna let you go. Never gonna say goodbye, no. Never gonna give you up. Never gonna give. Never gonna give you up. Never gonna give never gonna let you go, never gonna say goodbye, no. Never gonna give you up. I'm never gonna let you go, never gonna say goodbye, no. Never gonna give you up. Never gonna give. Never gonna give you up. Never gonna give. Never gonna give you up. Never gonna give. Never gonna give you never gonna say goodbye, no.
Why do I feel like I linger? Linger between the words to say the words to remember. Now we're here to take control over your body and over your soul. We're gonna take back everything and lose it all. Lose it all. We lose it all. Feel it in your arms. Feel it in your legs. Feel it on your fingertips and feel it in your head. Just let your body go. Just let your body go. Just let your body go and move to the rhythm. Now we won't go back home today, until the very last hour. We still got few more days to slay, It's gonna get so much louder. Now we're here to take control over your body and over your soul. We're gonna take back everything and lose it all. Lose it all. Lose it all. Feel it in your arms. Feel it in your legs. Feel it on your fingertips and feel it in your head. Just let your body go. Just let your body go. Just let your body go and move to the rhythm.
Hey guys, welcome to Meta High School E-League. It's your boy Jackson Prolt Williams, joined by the one, the only Chris the Average. How are you, man?
I am very good, Prode, and I'm ready for some quality League of Legends today. We've got Rutherford College taking on Selwyn Apes, Rutherford on blue side, and Selwyn on the red side. Should be a good game. Both teams currently 3-3, so...
Well, both teams are coming into this undefeated.
Yeah, sorry, 3-0, my apologies.
Yeah, it's honestly looking to be a very strong matchup here. Rutherford College and Selwyn College. I do believe this is the New Zealand games, is it not?
Yes, that would be right. 5 o'clock over there in New Zealand, 3 o'clock here, obviously, in Sydney and Melbourne. So we are ready for some New Zealand action. And a little bit later on, we'll have some more games over here on this side. I believe we're doing Victorian games tonight.
Yep, I believe so. Yeah, because they do start at 5 o'clock. And if you can actually see the lineups here on the screen right now. We have Meme McPepe and Mac Muddy in the top lane.
2 quality names. Just gonna say it right now. 2 quality names.
100%. We got Rio and Chimpy in the jungle. Bit of a Ryu wannabe, but not quite there. We got Clear Sky and Soren Bjerg in the mid lane. TSM have graciously loaned Selwyn Apes their mid laner for this game. Azusu, not Azubu, Azusu, and Kitty Cats in the ADC position, and Nameless versus Herm in the support. Of course, Nameless. They might have to fix it up and put a name in there, but of course, Nameless is gonna have to do for now. But yeah, it's gonna be an absolute blast. Now we're just waiting on the guys to get ready to pretty much start champ select. So. Like, what are your predictions for this game? Like, they're both very strong teams coming into this. We're looking at the ranks at the moment. We're seeing silvers and golds, and we're seeing a diamond player in Herm, the support, and Rio, the jungle, on opposing teams. Yeah,
so a lot of quality, I believe, unranked as well. So might have to check into his op.gg just to make sure what rank he is. But we're heading in to the Champion Select now, starting off with bans as normal, and it looks like they're going to kick off with a Vayne ban.
Ooh, the Vayne coming in. Now, we've seen Vayne come into pro play quite a bit lately. Very good into tanks that are slowly coming back into the meta, especially with all the crit changes that have come in. So Vayne is definitely a relative pick nowadays, spiking very strong with the Gwynsues as well.
Yeah, definitely Vayne, one of the more lethal ADCs, probably why she's get banned. Well, that's why she's probably one of the first bans out. But an interesting ban there. Draven's being taken out early as well.
Like, I'm not going to lie, Draven is a very niche pick, very much a bully lane. You want to get that advantage early. Very good into champions like Vayne that have that short range, and then Draven can just snowball over them. Also taken off the table, the Silas pick. So Silas has been, I'm not actually sure, because Silas has had quite a few bugs as of late since the actual release. And I believe in last patch, one of the bugs was he closed your client and kicked you from the game. So
yeah, no wonder he was global banned in professional leagues for 2 whole weeks. But yeah, it's like, although in saying that, it takes a lot to beat Mordekaiser and bugs. Just saying that right now.
Oh, did Mordekaiser ever actually just kick you from the game? No,
I'm pretty sure he didn't. So.
Like the Silas E is called DDoS. Send a DDoS to your opponent's computer and disallow them from playing League of Legends. Like GG uninstall.
Yeah. It's over, mate. Go back to Counter-Strike.
But anyway, on that note, we also have the Rek'Sai ban, Renekton, Darius. We definitely have those carry kind of champions being taken on the table. And considering that Rio, the jungler for Rutherford College, is a diamond level player, I'm not surprised in the slightest.
Nah, not at all, as we get into our first picks, and looks like it's gonna be the Angry Yordle Kled being chosen for the top lane.
Get off my property! Kled is an absolute delight to play with. It's nothing is more tilting than what... That's a two-edged sword, because you go ham when you get dismounted and you try to get the remount, and you could actually die before you get the remount. And so Kled, once again, two-edged sword, very good fighter though, very good lane bully, and very good at getting that split push and forcing the engage with his ultimate.
Yeah, definitely. As Poppy and Jinx will be picked up for the red side, we would assume Poppy will be going to the top lane to try and fight off the Kled. But in saying that, have been seeing Poppy support being slowly coming back recently in my solo queue game, so you never know. Might see her back down there.
And Poppy is a very good flex pick as well. You can play him both top support and jungle to a certain extent because he actually does have a decent clear. Is all right ganks, and he's very good at being able to hold his own in the jungle because of all the walls. And with the Poppy Jinx, I'm immediately seeing as kind of a protect the carry comp because you've got the hyper carry in the Jinx with the long range, the safe farming lanes, the scaling up. And then the Poppy is amazing peel. And talking about amazing peel, we see the Braum hover. This is definitely going to be a protect the carry comp.
Yeah, without a doubt, they want Jinx to go ham and go ham as hard as he can. So if the Braum does get picked, we should be seeing Poppy up and top. Poppy jungle, I mean, it can work, but it is very hard. But no, instead we'll be seeing Sejuani being picked up in the jungle, but that still seems like a protected carry comp.
Oh, 100%. Sejuani has such amazing base stats as well right now. Very hard to out-jungle Sejuani, who has so much damage just as a tank, let alone being able to get those amazing picks with the Permafrost and also the Glacial Prison. On the other hand, Kitty Cat's on the Caitlyn, the Caitlyn being picked up and the Leona being picked up does mean a lot in regards to pretty much the lane kill pressure. You have the traps. If you send a single trap, you are going to be locked up for 2 to 3 seconds. You have you pretty much have the Leona, the Zenith blade, the Shield of Daybreak, and then followed up by another Caitlyn trap behind you. So you have no way of getting out if you step one of those traps, and can be a very dangerous thing to go up against this lane, especially because Caitlyn is one of the few champions that 100% will outscale the Jinx. Will not outscale, outrange the Jinx in laning phase. The scaling though is definitely on the Jinx's half.
Yeah, Jinx, if she can survive till about 30 minutes, should be able to survive and carry from there. But if Caitlyn gets home early, then it's going to be very hard for the red side in Selwyn. Anyways, found a few bans to come through. Nunu and Twisted Fate for the red side, and then Fresh and Soraka for the blue side. So obviously trying to make sure that their supports aren't that strong, but they're just going to go Braum anyways.
I just find that very peculiar because they know that it's a Jinx with the protect the carry comp. They've already seen the Leona and the Caitlyn, know they cannot win this laning phase reasonably. So you'd think that they'd probably ban out the Braum because it was hovered before. But they actually let it right on through, and Braum is actually an amazing counter to the Leona. So I think that's a massive oversight from Rutherford College right there. And Selwyn has definitely won this draft so far because they've pretty much got their win condition right now with the Jinx. They've got the 3 massive CC tanks right there. And on the side of Rutherford College, we do have what appears to be a scaling mid, a lane bully ADC that also is decently strong late game. Got the Kled lane bully top, who can't really do amazingly into the Poppy due to Poppy's just amazing shielding all around and ability to fight back. And I feel like after this Elise pickup, a lot of it's going to be on the shoulders of this Elise to be able to gank those lanes effectively and really allow these lanes to really snowball into this mid-game victory.
Rutherford really need to get this game over and done with, because if they allow the Selwyn guys to just scale in late, it's not going to be looking too good, especially with LeBlanc being picked up for mid lane. So it's pretty much going to be two starkly different win conditions here. Fast game for one side and a slow, drawn-out game for the other.
Yep, indeed. So we now know the lineups here. That is definitely the LeBlanc in the mid lane. Now, this actually, you think, okay, cool, not really protect the carry. It's not really a scaling. You'd think how it fits in. I actually like this pick in regards to, you picked into Vladimir, even though Vladimir is like the anti-assassin, LeBlanc still has a lot more burst than Vladimir has sustain. So the Vladimir still has to play this very safe. He will get pushed in early because his wave clear isn't too amazing early without the stats. And the LeBlanc is going to be used as a pressure fulcrum to allow the Sejuani and the LeBlanc to be able to roam to that bot lane and just make that bot lane a continuous 4-man fiesta.
Yeah, that bot lane might be very interesting to deal with for both sides here, as we're only 3 minutes away from gameplay. So let's look at some of the matchups here. Let's start with the junglers, because Sedge into Elise, that's going to be very interesting. You would think Elise should have easy control over there, but if Sedge can just have a quiet jungle, maybe get a few ganks off here and there, she might just prove the edge.
Yeah. So, however, like one of the things that we do have to note is the Elise into Sejuani. So the reason why Elise has not really been meta for a long time is because this Elise is she struggles on the Raptors. She 100% struggles on the Raptors. And Elise being one of those champions that doesn't scale really well into the mid to late game unless you snowball means that you very much have to play a pick kind of comp. You have to go for those early game ganks. And it's one of those things where the Sejuani pretty much does that job, if not a little bit worse on the ganks in the early game because you don't have as reliable CC potential pre-6, like instantaneous CC potential like the Elise does, but you just have a better clear, you have a healthy clear, you scale a lot better into that mid to late game with more CC, with more tankiness, with more utility. So the Elise is a definite weird pick, and considering that she can't really do Raptors well, that's a very easy camp for the LeBlanc or the Sejuani just to invade, quickly take, and get the hell out of dodge. Because Raptors is always in an easy position. We can go in, maintain loss of vision while you take it, and then get the hell out.
Yeah, definitely. But in saying that, the Elite pick is just pretty much putting the icing on the cake for Rutherford because, as we said earlier, it's going to be a very lane bully, hard, early on action sort of champion select we've seen here from him, and well, and if they can keep doing, excuse me, they keep going like that, or they do go like that, just it's gonna,
It's definitely is going to be helpful, especially if you're getting bot side. You have so much follow up. The Kled is going to be able to probably out trade the Poppy early, and it will help with that lockdown. But it's one of those things where Poppy does have that steadfast presence. You will have a lot of pretty much ability to stop those dives. And then as well, when you get your ultimate, that's the Keeper's Verdict, you'll be able to just disengage pretty much any gank potential they have. So the only real gank potential you have for this Elise, I do believe, will be the spot lane because LeBlanc is slippery as hell. Poppy is going to be a hold her own very easily. And it's going to be the Jinx and Braum, and once again, Sejuani and LeBlanc are definitely going to be roaming down to that bot lane a lot, trying to make things happen there and trying to get this Jinx online, because Jinx 100% is their win condition post 25 minutes.
Yeah, definitely is. LeBlanc as well, if she can get a very strong early game off, they might not even need the Jinx because LeBlanc is one of the biggest snowballs I've seen definitely this season. I've seen a lot of games where LeBlanc gets 2 or 3 kills pre-6 and then just goes off from there.
Yep. So as we do get into the loading screen, I'm not completely sure. I do believe the stream might be a bit frozen on the end. I'm not completely sure, but anyway, guys, we're going to quickly make a note of all the runes that are here. The Kled has gone for the Conqueror, which isn't actually out of the ordinary. Caitlyn has definitely gone that fleet of footwork. We're seeing nothing out of the ordinary, actually, as I look across all of it. Nothing really stands out to me. Yeah. Elise has definitely gone for the Electrocute for his early game potentials. Leona Aftershock can proc easily. Vladimir, as I have seen, do this a lot, where they go the Phase Rush, they have the Transcendence, Cosmic Insight, and they go the CDR rune as well. So what happens there is that they get their Proto Belt, they get their Kindle Gem and their Phoenix Codex. So then they're pretty much, by the time they get to like level 10 or so, they've pretty much almost got the 40% CDR. And then by the time they get late game, they're 45% CDR. And because Vladimir only runs off health and cooldowns, this is an amazing tool for the Vladimir to be able to just continually sustain up and continually do damage. And considering that your Phoenix Codex builds into your Zonya's Hourglass and your Kindle Gem builds into your Protobot, those are 2 items that are literally the main parts of Vladimir's kit. It's amazing. It's synergized so well. It's why Vladimir has become such a strong champion as of late, like stronger than usual. And the last thing you want to see as a Jinx is a Vladimir flashing, ulting on you, using the Ignite, using all the abilities, and then pulling under you. You can't kill him. As soon as he comes back up, he's Zonya's. He can transfusion again. He can Zonya's again, and then you're pretty much just donezo.
Yeah. Yeah, Vladimir is always, especially as you said, this season has been very, very strong. Wouldn't be surprised if we see him get nerfed a little bit in the next few patches by the Rito gods. But, anyways, we are all but ready to get into the action here. So,
We'll be
Rutherford v. Selwyn, let's go.
We're pausing up 15 seconds so the stream can all catch up.
Yep.
I'm not completely sure.
It's 10 seconds, by the way.
Oh, it's 10 seconds?
Yeah.
2 seconds. I shall go back to the 10-second mark.
Oh, never mind. Our producer went to 15.
Oh, producer went to 15? Okay.
Yeah, let me just jump up. Sorry about this, ladies and gentlemen. The wonders of online casting for League of Legends.
No, it's really funny. Like, I've been working with some people lately, and we all like come like, because a lot of us live in Melbourne. We've just been like all chilling at my place, just like have some food, have some drinks, and we just go crazy and just cast all from my couch. And it's been absolutely amazing because you have like that studio feel, but it's a lot more casual. Anyway, guys, we are ready. We're at 15 seconds. We're gonna count down in 3, 2, 1, go.
Meanwhile, I'm just up here in Sydney, but anyways. Finally into the action here. Selwyn v. Rutherford. Let's see who will go to 4-0 and who will stay stuck in the free win territory.
Yep. So we are seeing pretty much what looks to be a standard line of scrimmage right here on the Reds. Oh, actually, no, this does seem a few gaps. So here's one of the things that you do have to realize with your standard lines of scrimmage. You pretty much try to get someone covering every single entrance, including the mid lane, so you can see when people go for those invades. However, what they've done here is, for example, the Caitlyn and the Leona is got two people in this bot lane side. So what they can try and do is try and cheese as the Jinx Braum comes lane, or if someone tries to go for a sneaky little invade for a ward. So that's the advantage of going different styles, but line of scrimmage is usually the safest way to go. Alternatively, we see the Jinx and Braum just in the Dragon Pit. They're probably going to drop a ward over into that tri-bush and maybe drop some poke as they leave.
Yep.
But it does appear to be standard bot side starts. And like I said, there's that ward.
Yep. Ward also towards the top dot bush as well here. So
on both sides. They both dropped wards up there. And the beauty of that, and here's the amazing thing about it, is you can see that Scuttle Crab. And it lasts there for quite a while. So by that time, you can see when they actually. So we actually see when they would have the when they'd go for the Scuttle Crab. You can then base your pathing based on that. So you look at champions like Zac, for example. He does not want to fight in the jungle. He will lose those fights 90% of the time because he's just such a weak jungle fighter. He's a good farmer. He's a good ganker. He's bad at the 1v1. He's good at the 2v2 because he has the damage to back him up.
Yep.
However, with the Sejuani and the Elise, they both don't mind fighting over the Scuttle Crab. So even though there's the wards there in the brush to see where the Scuttle Crab is, they can then choose to be like, okay, cool, we can then fight for this, or I can go and take him, or we can do lateral jungling, or whatever the hell you want to go. And it's actually a better ward than just deep warding, because then you see when they go in the river, when they're going for ganks, and you get more information than just which buff they started at.
Yep, as well, we need to tell you why we have a technical pause. Unfortunately, the top laner for Selwyn is having some computer issues, so hopefully I'll get fixed up shortly. But in the meantime, let's talk about a few more of these matchups. I want to focus actually on the ADC and bot lane sides, because it's going to be a very interesting early game, because obviously it's going to be heavy kill pressure from the Leona and the Caitlyn, but then you've got the Jinx and the Braum, especially the Braum, who's one of the biggest counters to Leona.
Yep, and Braum is an amazing champion if you can chain the CC. So it's one of those things where you do have the frostbite, you pretty much, and you do have the chompers from the Jinx. So if you have the Leona overstepping too much without backup from the Caitlyn, you can just pretty much wall her off from that backup support with the chompers and then land that frostbite on the Leona. And then you get a lot of damage. Leona does have the Eclipse though, which is that W, does give you a lot of MR and armor on top of your amazing base stats. But Leona does struggle with the sustain game. So pretty much just by doing that, you can chunk out the Leona and really make her struggle coming into that laning phase. And considering how both these lanes seem to be relying on either on that fighting with the supports like the Leona and the Braum, chunking someone out before that actually happens is a massive deal.
Definitely. Definitely indeed, as still in this pause now. So let's just talk about, I want to talk about the blue side win condition here because as I said in Champion Select, and as you said as well for a little bit, they really need a fast, hard, and pretty darn active game for them to hit their win condition because if the Jinx and LeBlanc scale nicely, look what happens. They win past 25.
Yep. It's one of those things where, like, the Caitlyn still does scale very well. The big issue with the Caitlyn, though, is you don't scale as well as the Jinx. The Jinx is a much better team fighter with those rockets and the Runaan's Hurricane synergy. And the Caitlyn actually has a bit of a weakness in the mid game before she gets 3 items. So after one item, when you go in that second item spot, you seem to not scale as well as a lot of other ADCs, unless you're specifically sieging and setting up with the traps.
Yeah.
So what ends up happening is the Caitlyn is very good if you can get ahead, get that siege going, and really applying that pressure, which is what Caitlyn is so good in that early game by abusing that early range advantage that she almost always has in those lanes. As for the Vladimir, Vladimir is going to be amazing for team fights. He's going to be amazing for split pushing. There's not really much that Selwyn Apes can really do about the Vladimir in general, to be honest, because he's such a strong, because it's such a strong champion, honestly. And unless LeBlanc can put him down, he is going to be a massive issue coming into that mid to late game. But it's still one of those things where just the all-round synergy of Selwyn Apes, you have the triple tank front line, you have the you have Soren Bjerg being on that one-shot assassin going for probably Kitty Cats, making sure that Kitty Cats is always zoned off those fights. And then Azusu just being able to stand behind this 3 massive brawly tanks, which, by the way, you have a steadfast presence, you have a Keeper's Verdict on the Poppy, you have a lot of CC on the Sejuani in general, and you have the Braum with the Glacial Fissure, and the Unbreakable, and the Stand Behind Me. There is no way that you're going to be able to get onto him unless you, except with the Vladimir ultimate. So you're relying on the Vladimir to pretty much one-shot the ADC, Azuzu, before he can really get to those team fights and be that DPS god that Jinx is meant to be.
Excuse me. As looks like, thank you very much, as Macamuddy is now back in the server and we can finally recommence this game here. And no early invades to start off with, as the Elise obviously wants to have that bot side scuttle as quickly as she can. She also has a ward down there, which the Sejuani doesn't, so...
Yep. And so what this means is that they will actually fight there, and that scuttle did actually go over to the Sejuani, which has been an amazing tool right there. And with that, the Sejuani is going to... is pretty much going to have that like little bit of a CS advantage. And it's quite amazing. It's quite an amazing thing to have, especially early, because now you have river control, you're up a camp because you had the Grump as well. There's a superior clear from the Sejuani coming in. So he's at 12 CS to the 4 CS to the Elise. Elise just has to rush over for the Scuttle top side to try and get vision up there. And then and Sejuani's fine with that because he gets a stronger clear now. And Elise just has to try and scrounge up what she can and then go for that blue and then try and make anything work. Because the Sejuani is going to like reach that first item sooner.
A little bit of action here in the top side, but looks like it's actually favoring the Poppy here, who didn't have the best of starts, but we might be seeing First Blood coming out here, but the Elise just doesn't decide to press the issue.
Yep. So with that, the Elise is actually going to try and go for the red buff, and the Vladimir is actually rotating up to help.
Speaking of which, though, it's going to be it's definitely turning into a bit of an early fiesta, but not on the side we were expecting. 3 players for the blue side already on top side here.
Oh. Wait, sorry, man. What time are you at, by the way, bro?
I think I might be lagging. 3:45.
Yep, 3:45, 3:46, 3:47. Yeah, we're fine. What happened there was the Elise was able to make up that early issue she had and actually steal the top side of the jungle from the Sejuani. Because Sejuani did stop by the wolves, so he was a bit lower health than what you would normally expect him to be. And the problem with that is the Elise, with the help from the Vladimir, who had lane pressure against LeBlanc, by the way, was actually able to roam up and help the Elise take away the red buff from Sejuani, I believe. He's actually just getting there now, and he's noticing that his buff's gone. He's a bit sad. He's depressed, but he's still got the one thing that Elise can't do, which is the Raptors.
Yeah. All you need,
That's
buff. Just get Raptors.
let's be honest though. You can pretty much type in all chat when you're playing against Elise. Hey, how are those Raptors going? It's like. It's like because like he wouldn't really know because he can't really do it until like after the first or second back, and then even then it's like you need the AP to be able to burst the majority of it, and you just it's just such a difficult thing to do with Elise. Have you tried it?
No, I haven't played a lot of Elise, so haven't really tried it, but I would imagine it's going to be a massive pain in the backside, even with 2 smites available. Probably won't be able to get the full clear out then.
it's absolutely shocking. Oh no.
This could be bad news here for the Sejuani. He just gets burst down. Elise will get first blood, and now Macmuddy in a fair bit of strife. 3v1, can't do too much. He has no Skarner.
And
he's gone.
And there we have it. The Elise being able to invade the top side from the Sejuani, putting the Sejuani a little bit behind in experience, and Elise was able to pretty much... so the Sejuani was like level 3 to level 5 of me, McPepe, and the Elise was able to get there so fast, and there's the mobility of the Elise being able to lock up the what's left of Chimpy, finish him off, and MacMoney was like, yep, I can do this. But Clear Sky was there, and that's the beauty of this Vladimir right now. Clear Sky is going crazy. He is able to shove in the that's twice now in just under 6 minutes that he's being able to shove in he's been able to shove in the LeBlanc of all things, and then roam up to either get the red or get the top lane, and just been helping the Elise non-stop. And this is literally just a two-man jungle right now with the Vladimir Elise, and it's definitely paying dividends.
Definitely is, but Elise is in a very tricky spot right here. Could easily get crunch as she's just being burst down slowly. Meanwhile, in the bot lane, Herm might be falling, but will be turning into a 3v3 now. Ryo jumps in, takes down Braun, but here comes Thorenberg. Nameless should fall. Rio trying to run, will just be able to get out, but no! Here comes Chimpy, but Chimpy might just fall in retaliation. Now, what can Kitty Cats do? Clear Sky, though, in the back line, will be able to take down the Jinx, and Sorenberg in a 1v2. Can she find the ADC at the very least? No, she can't. A well-played fight there for Rutherford.
Yeah, and honestly, like, we had Søren Bjerg get in the roam first, but Clear Sky was soon to follow, and we saw Kitty Cat's traps come in clutch there right at the end, just decking Søren Bjerg. Søren Bjerg having no chance to really help clean that up. He was out of mana, he was out of health, he was out of luck, as it was an easy pickup, and now we have a 2-0-2 Caitlyn. Now, I was talking before about how the Caitlyn has a weak has a weak mid-game due to the items power spikes needed unless you're specifically sieging. The issue is that weak mid-game only happens if you're behind or if you're equal. If you're ahead, you are dangerous, just like any other champion that is ahead. And even though the Caitlyn, it's not like the Caitlyn falls off. She builds crit. That means she scales like a madman. Oh, Chimpy's in an awkward spot.
Yeah, Chimpies will be hit in the 1v2 very, very shortly. The blast cone does not work, and Rio, well, he's hungry for more Sejuani as he gets another kill.
Yeah, so right there, so once again, Clear Sky has the roam, has the pressure on Søren Bjerg, and Søren Bjerg just doesn't really seem to be doing much. We're seeing pretty much them trading even right now, and this is a Clear Sky that has boots and a dark seal, whereas you have a lost chapter on Søren Bjerg. So Clear Sky does not have the gold that he's spent. He's having to drop the pull though. And oh no!
Oh, this could be bad news here. Thorenberg gets the chain, and it's goodbye, Vladimir. 5 sacks down, 1 on that Dark Seal. Meanwhile, in the bot lane, it's going to be 3v2 fight. Azuzu just trying to get out, but it might be Herm in danger here as Ryo jumps in. But the Jinx Braum able to just get out here, finds a bit more pressure as well. Nameless needs to rush out, but we'll be able to get out on 200 HP.
I just found it funny how I've been seeing the praises of this Vladimir non-stop. He's been an absolute amazing boon to this team. And then as soon as I start ringing it out again, it's like, no, we're going to lose the 1v1.
Oh, here comes the fight as Braum will get stunned up, will be taken down. Leona in a lot of danger. Jinx will be able to take her down, but it's all but a consolation as she falls to the Elise.
That was literally just a gank, like just 20 seconds later, being like, okay, cool, he's probably not there. But they'd already cleared out the vision. They've just said, you know what, they will not see the second game coming, and they did not. That was really well played there by Ryo. I doubted this Elise pick. I poisoned your mind against the Elise pick as well, and still Rio is popping up saying, you know what, man, I don't care. I've got like a 80-90% kill participation. You can say what you want about my champion.
She's about to clear Raptors. It's America.
Oh my god, what is this madness? We are seeing a Raptor clearing Elise right now, and I'm not sure how I feel about this. It just goes against everything I know right now. I'm just, am I out of touch? No, it's a player that must be wrong.
Okay, Skinner.
I was wondering if you'd get the reference, but yeah. Oh,
mate, massive Simpson spark right here, mate. Nothing will get past me. Unless it's past season 15, in which case, yeah.
Actually, apparently there was an episode recently where they pretty much did a computer game episode.
Oh yeah, I saw that. I'm pretty sure Slasher was talking about that, but you know they're wrong because NA made it to World Finals, so.
Oh yeah, like NA made it to. I haven't seen it yet, so I'm trying to find out where I can find it online. Haven't really looked very hard, obviously. But yeah, and it's one of those things where like I like the inspiration of like how it's going and how like pretty much you see all the money that's going into esports nowadays. So for example, High School E-League is a brilliant example of that, where they're seeing all this money come in, they're seeing all this popularity come in, and people are being like, oh, you don't have to go outside to play games anymore. And that is the first Drake actually picked up 11 minutes. And like talking about like just going out doing sports and flexing on people. Right now, we have Rutherford College flexing on the Selwyn Apes. Basically, like look at this. It's a 3,000 gold lead at 11 minutes. You've got a Vladimir that's scaling, already got the proto belt. You got a Jinx that's sitting on the IE, has a massive 1,000 gold lead in his bot lane alone. Like this is huge right now for the side of Rutherford.
Yep. And as well, the Caitlyn's already taken 2 nearly 3 stacks off the tower as well. So that Caitlyn is just popping off early here as Sorenberg able to just dash out, but that could have been disastrous for him.
Oh, definitely. And here's one of the things that I actually I'm a little bit worried about. So Rio has gone 4-1-4. So that's four of the skills that he took. Now, the big issue with Elise getting those kills early is that if he can't transition that in the mid game hardcore, as with Elise's, you do fall off. Like usually after 1 or 2 items of AP, you do oftentimes build like bruisery items on the Elise, because you just become a CC bot with a little bit of burst for like the squishies. But
she's pushing the advantage here as Shinpy is being burst down, but will be saved by the inner turret. Meanwhile, on the bot lane, this could be the last stack falling as well, and that could be first brick over towards Rutherford.
And that was the Hemoplague getting the illusion out of the LeBlanc as well. So Sorenbjerg has bit off more than he can chew going into Clear Sky. Clear Sky has been an absolute menace on this Vladimir, and
Herm pops off his ulti here. This is bad news for the Caitlyn. She'll be taken down, and now the traps are out for Nameless. Might be able to take one with him, but it's not looking too good as the Jinx slowly starts to become relevant.
Yeah,
and even fastest to Mastery as well.
3-2-2 gets the shutdown goal on the Caitlyn as well, and that alone has brought the Jinx kicking and screaming back into this game, equalizing the goal with the Caitlyn after that one team fight. And this is huge. They also get tower plating off this, possibly 2 to 3 towers. The Rift Tower did go down in response to this, but at the end of the day, that's 2 tower plates. They're going to be able to go back. They've got sitting on 2,600 gold for the Jinx. That alone is probably enough to get the IE right now. So you're sitting on the IE Zeal, or alternatively, you could just go for the Ruden's Hurricane and start putting towards that IE.
Yeah, definitely a lot of options for the Jinx now, especially with more than 2,000 gold on the board. The sign will be up very shortly, but in saying that, Caitlyn's still having the advantage here, just heading CS, plus already having the IE herself, but Jinx will actually not go for the first item. She'll just go for BFs.
Yep, going for the BF, going for the pickaxe, and actually picked up the Berserker Greaves. Now that gives you extra movement speed, that gives you extra attack speed. That's an amazing item in general, to be honest. Doesn't give you the base stats that you get from the IE, but still gives you so many tools and allows you to have the extra movement speed to be able to kite out the Leona, to be able to kite out the Caitlyn, and even the Vladimir, who is definitely just being a menace to this bot lane, just camping down there pretty much, like making it his second home. So it's I do like the pickup. It does give away base stats in response for more like attack speed, which you don't. Oh wait.
Oh, here we go. Glacial Prison use there on the Caitlyn. She needs to try and get out, but she'll be trying to take a few with her here as she's second down. Oh my god, Elise just gets burst down. And now, what can this Vladimir do? Needs to find at least one as the ulti comes through from Brawl. Nameless trying his best, but it's going to be frags left, right, and center for Selwyn as they go 5-0. It's a 15-minute ace.
Yep, Azusu, he does come up big right there. He now has a shutdown on his head, and the Rift Herald is denied for taking down that tower, and in response, it just looks like they're able to just pretty much equalize this, slow down the game a bit, allow their Jinx to pretty much, who is their win condition, to get the goal that he so desperately wants. 5-2-3, after being like pretty much 1-2-3 beforehand. Like before that fight down in the bot lane, gets a double kill in that fight, and this is any Jinx player's dream right now. Honestly, I'm getting flashbacks to like yesterday when we see C9's Academy squad play in the LCS, and they pretty much just fed Keith on the Jinx kill after kill after kill, and this is exactly what the game looked like. This is terrifying to watch right now. Look at this Jinx sitting on a BF sword, a pickaxe, the crit cloak, and a Runa's Hurricane on top of Berserkers. And there's an IA. There we go. Two full items in 16 minutes. This is dangerous. I do not want to face this team. Like, it doesn't matter that you're 3,000 gold ahead. You just don't want to face the Jinx. If you do not burst the Jinx down at the start of the fight, that is a dangerous team fight for you to deal with.
I'm pretty sure you don't want to even face this Jinx in Iron. But saying that, Infernal Drake will go over, but the Glacial Prison has been used, and Nameless will get burst down, but that will do a fair bit of damage here, but it's just not working out. The Jinx is going in. Me, McPepe coming in, trying to find a few little kills left and right. It looks like they've actually turned it over here. Herm will eventually be taken down, and the Caitlyn will find a few as well.
And that was amazingly done by Rutherford College. What they did right there is the Leona went in, tried to get onto the Jinx, but he was stopped. But the Vladimir did. The Vladimir got all the way through and burst down the Jinx. 2-item Vladimir. He's a lot of damage with the Proto Belt, with the Rylai's Crystal Scepter. Jinx could not get away, and even though Jinx was free hitting at the start, when you've got a Vladimir sitting on your face with a Hemoplague, you've got no hope whatsoever, and that's exactly what happened. Then, because that's majority of your teamfight damage is gone, that is the issue. And so Selwyn Apes need to be very careful of this Vladimir, who seems to be the main threat to the Jinx, and it showed up in that fight big time. This is why you don't just like forget about the Vladimir. He is such a dangerous tool to use, especially with the Sanguine Pool that just allows him to get past everybody.
Yeah, the Kled as well. We just saw him run in, pick up a nice little double kill late. That just pretty much guaranteed the team fight for Rutherford, but yeah, losing that Jinx early just did not help out Selwyn in the slightest, and look what happened. Their base is all but broken, mid's not looking too healthy as well. The only lane left standing strong is topside.
Yep, so we are seeing currently the, it appears that, one thing I want to look at though, and this is very peculiar to me, is we actually look at the lanes. The Poppy, firstly, is down to 40 CS at this point in the game to the Kled. Kled is 3-0-3 as well, and this is not something you want to have to deal with a Kled in the side lane. He becomes such an obnoxious split pusher, and because of his ultimate and the teleport, he can easily be something that can force the plays in that mid lane very easily. The Vladimir 5-3-6, building towards that what appears to be Azonia's Hourglass, already has the Rylai's. He's a very tanky boy, a lot of damage in his back pocket. And oh, here we
Oh
go.
no, that is bad news for Rio. Might have just been caught a bit aggressive, but here comes the team fight. The Caitlin's popping off. The Elise as well jumps in. Chimpy is in so much drive. And just like that, the fight turns and Sorenberg gets sniped from afar.
Yep, they all did. Stacks on. They're like, we've got the Elise dogpile, but the Vladimir with the Hemo Plague catching everybody. And then from there, it was all a cleanup. You were hitting the Leona, you were hitting the Elise, but they're not your targets. It's the Caitlyn, the 7-2-9 Caitlyn, and the 5-3 and 10 Vladimir. They're the problems you have to face. The Elise is irrelevant if she can just get the hell out of there. She can literally just propel up into the air, get out of dodge for a while. The Leona is not a target you want to face. She's too tanky, and they just don't deal damage. They're not your targets. And Selwyn Apes pulled the trigger at the wrong time.
Yeah, they thought the path was clear, but matter of fact, everyone on Rutherford was in range. They just went stacks on, said, get off our jungle, and look what happened. Mid is all but broken up, only the inhib turret remains. And well, this fight is actually going well or this game actually is going well for Rutherford, but we're about to hit the 25-minute mark, so they might want to get a move on for this game, because if they leave it any longer, and Selwyn might just find an unlikely opportunity to come back.
Like, I'm not gonna lie though, seeing how well Clear Sky is playing, and because he is on the Vladimir of all things, and considering that the Caitlyn is a little bit ahead of the Jinx even, the Caitlyn's gonna get those 3 items and then be a massive boon. They've got the ability to siege, they've got the ability to really be that menace.
Oh, that was beautiful from Rio, and it just jumps in, says how you do, and tells Poppy, you're not knocking me back today.
That Keeper's Verdict was so well dodged by Rio. Rio showing his stars and stripes right there, being like, you know what, I am not gonna go away. I am sticking to you like a bad rash. And honestly, Poppy, you better get some cream because you need it for that one.
Here we go. The Elise able to just get the Baron now. Pepe dives in. There's only Clear Sky in the back line, but he's coming in. Berg is in a very tough spot along with her, but the Jinx trying to pop off. Finds a double. Will find a triple kill, and the Jinx is finally online.
The Jinx coming up big. She has probably got enough gold now to get that third crit item, sitting on 2,400 gold, more than enough. And of course, here's the issue when you cannot get the Vladimir onto the Jinx and you do not burst down the Jinx. She can just clean up on the back end. She has these AoE, multiple rockets with the Ruinous Hurricanes, and she will hammer down on you, all of them critting, all of them doing AoE, all of them just shredding your entire team from a massive range. And that's the issue. Selwyn Apes has the win condition. They're going for the win condition, and so far it looks like they might have just hidden that win condition at 22 minutes of the game, no less. This is something that Clear Sky and Rio have to die for. They have to do something, and they have to try and burst down the Jinx before the fight even starts. Otherwise, that's a lost team fight.
Definitely, the Jinx is starting to get to that point where if she's not the first casualty for Selwyn are just going to go ham and win any fight from here on out. But still, opportunity for Rutherford to try and close out this game. I mean, Caitlin's still 7-2-11, has the IE, has Rapid Fire, has the Lord Dominix, has so much to work with here, especially with both bot and mid pretty vulnerable. They can still easily break a base.
For Herm, that was a huge amount of damage onto Herm by the AP Elise right there. And Elise is going for that Morello, is going for the Zhonya's by the looks of it, is going for that AP Bruiser build. And because this is an Elise that's so far ahead, she can opt to go for this. And with the Baron buff here, even though they lost the team fight before, they still have that Baron buff, and they can still just siege off Selwyn Apes. And Selwyn Apes, at the end of the day, are behind. They are spot, and now with an inhibitor down in the mid lane and an inhibitor tower down in the bot lane, all the pressure on the side of Rutherford College, they can just go around, rotate here, there, anywhere, and if the team fight does happen, it will be all on Azusu to survive and position well to be able to match the pretty much the damage output of the enemy team.
Definitely, Azuzu trying to come the hyper carry as we were expecting here. But oh my god, that's a beautiful stump from Rio. Nearly takes down the Jinx. But here comes the fight, and the tide quickly turns here. Jinx starting to pop up, but the Elites will be able to finally take her down. Caitlyn as well, starting to come online, but the trades come through, and it will work out for Rutherford. A triple kill for the Elites, and ace for Rutherford. And they're going to break the top side, and they might just even look for the win.
That is definitely going to be a push for the win. 25 seconds on the next person to be up. And that team fight went wholly in favor of Rutherford College. It looks so disadvantageous. They got the cocoon onto Azusu. Azusu got out alive and you thought they could turn this around. He was in a perfect spot, but he walked too far forward for the damage. And then the Vladimir was able to just be like, you know what? I'm going to get onto you and I'm going to burst you down. There is no resistances on this champion. The rest of them got Hema plagued by the Vladimir, and that was it. Jinx got taken down. They had no follow-up damage, and Vladimir just saved that team fight by blowing up the Jinx right there. Amazing play. And this is the issue with these hyper carry comps. You need your hyper carry, well, to stay alive. And
yeah, they need to stay alive, but luckily they come back just in time here.
They did indeed. 25 minutes in. The death timers aren't that high right now. They were at pretty much about 30 seconds when they died. But that is 2 inhibitors down and Nexus tower down. They have lost their inner tower in the top lane as well. And I believe they lost 2 towers in the top lane actually. So they're all the way up to the inhibitor tower. And this is becoming problematic right now. This is becoming very problematic for this is very problematic for Selwyn Apes. As they've got to stop monkeying around, otherwise they might just lose this once and for all.
Definitely no pun intended there, by the way, ladies and gentlemen. Hopefully.
No pun intended, I swear. Nothing.
Yeah, they really need to start to get everything together. They need to try and take these 5v5 fights and make sure that the Jinx stays alive. But as you said earlier, the Vladimir is going to be so darn critical for Rutherford because he can just become untargetable, come underneath the Jinx and say, how are you going, fam? And just burst her down into oblivion.
Yep. So what we are seeing right now is pretty much just like the stall game. You do have the wave clear on the Jinx. The issue with the LeBlanc is at 2 items at 26 minutes, and that's it. You've got a Sorcerer's Shoes, you've got a Morellonomicon, but nothing more. So she's behind her lane counterpart by an item and a half. And on top of that, this is a LeBlanc. It doesn't scale well. So literally all your wave clear right now is in the Jinx. And you pretty much everyone else has to be playing Protect the Carry comp. And look at her. Even through the Unbreakable, gets absolutely shredded right there. And that's a problem when you're when one of your frontline tanks with that Unbreakable gets destroyed like that. That is disgusting.
Very disgusting indeed, as Claire nearly gets the execute on there, but instead they'll make sure that all 3 inhibitors are left wide open, and now, well, Selwyn can't do anything except base camp for now because look at all these heavy minions just starting to flood in.
Yeah, and it's like the Jinx has now got the 4th crit item. She has been funneled gold, almost 10 CS per minute. They are definitely going into this Protect the Carry comp, but the issue is they don't seem to be having a lot of Protect part of this comp going. And Jinx needs to stay alive. You've got triple crit, but you have no shielding, you have no sustain. You are a fish out of water if your Jinx gets caught. The Jinx does not have the flash available, does have the heal, will not have the flash for another minute and a bit. So this is the perfect time for Rutherford College to pretty much just start a team fight. They have just got the Baron, they're 10,000 gold up, they have got the Infernal, they have got a Mountain, they've got all the tools to end this game. And the Jinx, pretty much all the Jinx can do from here is maybe get like a Bloodthirster or maybe even more of Malmoltius or something, and just try and get some more survivability. Get up to level 18 and then absolutely destroy the lines of Rutherford College, because that's pretty much the only way they can really do anything about this, because Rutherford College are just like they're putting on a clinic right now on how to disassemble a fellow high school team.
Yeah, the only way you can put it here, as we might be seeing a fight come through very, very shortly. He has all inhibitors now broken through. That Nexus tower is just going to fall, and the Nexus is left there. They need to go in now, Selwyn, and here they come. It's going to be a good start here, but the double stun comes through. There goes the Poppy. Clear Sky is in the fountain, will be eventually taken down here. but surely this is over. A double kill, maybe even more for the Caitlyn. She finds the third. The Nexus is gone. GG, well played as Rutherford win in 29 minutes.
And there we have it, ladies and gentlemen. That was Rutherford College just looking as if they looked at their fellow undefeated team and were like, you guys don't look like that much. And Azusu, despite his team's best efforts, his very own team, leaving him out in the leaving him out to dry at times, Azusu tried so hard to try and bring the game back, but there were a few points in time where he's just like mispositioning, and Clear Sky was using that Sanguine pool aggressively nonstop, being unable to be stopped, and he's just able to pretty much go onto Rio and go onto Azusu and just burst him down, and that's what he did every team fight they won, and it definitely worked out in Rutherford College's favor. So if you look at the damage charts, off the charts, Caitlyn 3 items. This is the advantage of Caitlyn, being able to continually siege. Such a safe AD carry as well. And you saw in the team fight just doing some amazing bursts, especially with the energized procs on the static shiv. And honestly, that was like such a well played game from Rutherford College. They did that so well. They really did. And Selwyn Apes, you did amazing to try and like stall it out and try and like spoon feed the Jinx everything you had. Had more than 10 CS per minute at the end of the game, but it just wasn't enough. It really wasn't.
Wasn't enough in the sliders, as Rutherford now go to 4-0, Selwyn suck at 3-1, and well, in saying that, I'm pretty sure we'll see Rutherford in regional playoffs at this point, but yeah, good game, to say the very least.
It definitely, but we're gonna have to see, because the competition has barely even started, and I'm looking to see like the up and coming talent in the OC scene further on as the weeks go on. But anyway, guys, thank you so much for joining us today. It's been an absolute pleasure casting this game. I do believe this channel is going to be back online in about an hour or two at 5 o'clock. So be sure to tune in then when we do cast the Victorian teams, I believe. And guys, it just stay safe out there, play those games, and it's going to be a blast. And don't run the uninstall script, please, Silas. That's greatly appreciated. I'd like to play this game. Let me play this game. Oh, God. Thank you so much, guys. Have fun.
Bye-bye.
When you cried for me, hold your hand while the pain was over. Keep you warm by the roaring sea. You meant the world to me. Shadows in the atmosphere, charting the stratosphere.